What is going on, guys? Steve from Do Stuff. Today I want to talk about keyboard warriors. I mean, it's something that don't tend to get under my skin because the internet is a place filled with... how can I say it? The internet is a place that's sometimes filled with a lot of decent people, but also a lot of people that are full of I don't know any other way to put it, really. It's just the day and age we live in. Gone are the days where everything was face to face and people would get a punch in the face for talking shit. But unfortunately, we live in this day and age where you've got naive keyboard warriors sitting there just waiting to react to people's posts. And you know, it's not just e-bikes, which is the majority of stuff I do. This isn't just for me personally. This is for everyone out there trying to sell a car or post something they feel proud about. There's a lot of people talking absolute shit that maybe they're just not happy with themselves. Maybe they just get a kind of kick out of belittling people, or maybe they get a buzz out of being confrontational and, you know, causing a stir. Maybe they get a little kick out of it because they've got nothing much going on in their lives, you know, to feel happy about. I just feel like something needs to be said because, I mean, I see it myself. I'm sure a lot of you out there see it. Just people on the internet are just waiting to be dickheads, basically. And I see it a lot when I'm selling e-bikes. You get a lot of these stupid comments from people that are normally 9 times out of 10 uneducated, naive, and don't really know what they're looking at or what they're talking about, but they just pounce on something, laugh about something without actually having any education or experience at a level that, you know, I've got with bikes. You know, for example, Rally Super Bomber behind me, I put that up for £1,100 on Marketplace in a few groups, and the majority of people are pretty positive about it. They think it's super cool. But you've got them few people out there, same with any of the bikes I list, you've always got one or two. Just a lot of the time it's just a laughing emoji, you know. No comments. Occasionally there's comments. But let's break this down, for example. This bike cost me £400 for doing anything to it. It's a 1982 40-year-old Rally Super Bomber, which is only going to go up in value. So you're buying something that's going to appreciate in value already. So already you've got a bike with all the original back wheel. You can put it back to standard if you want. It's only going to go up in value. So to begin with, it's a pretty cool bike. It's not something that I would normally base an e-bike build on because it's a bit old. And yeah, maybe it's slightly sketchy for putting a high power build on, but it is what it is. Not everyone's sort of pussies about it, and do you know what I mean? It's like buying an old classic car and sticking like a flipping crazy engine in it, you know? Like an LS1 or a flipping turbocharged modern engine. It's just, people do these crazy things and not everyone's a complete dickhead about it and throws their toys out the pram because someone's done something a bit different. Anyway, going back to this bike, £400 bike before we've even started. This kit, what have I put on there? I put a KIRBEBIKE kit. Let's have a look at the website. Right, I don't know if you can see that, if that's in focus, but it is £800. So, that's your base price of getting a 2000 watt decent quality kit with a battery. That's before if you upgrade the rims, add any optional extras, all the fitting components. Most of the time you're looking at about £900 for a decent quality kit, which brings me on to the other thing. Oh, I can get it from ALIEXPRESS. This is one you get all the time, and I don't get the mentality of it. You can get anything. Everything's made in China. Some of it's shit, some of it's fake, some of it's good, some of it's bad. Everything comes from China. Why don't people get over it? It's just the way of the world. Most stuff's made in China. Your fridge, your kettle, your coffee that you buy at a coffee shop. You don't walk into a Costa Coffee and go, I can buy this from ALIEXPRESS for 50p. Do you know what I mean? I don't get why people do that. If keyboard warriors acted the way they do online in real life, they'd be walking into a flipping coffee shop going, I can get this from ALIEXPRESS. Or when your plumber comes to your house, oh, I can get that tap from ALIEXPRESS for £5. Do you know what I mean? It's just, you can buy anything in your house, your car, all your appliances. You can buy a weekly shop from China if you really want. I don't get why people are so up their arse about it. And the thing is, sometimes you can get stuff cheaper on ALIEXPRESS. I agree. That's absolutely right. You can get stuff cheaper on AliExpress, Alibaba, all them Chinese sites, but one, you don't always know what you're getting, especially with an e-bike kit. The batteries, you don't know what's inside. It looks the same in the picture. It might have an MTX rim, it might look the same as a KIRBEBIKE kit. There's absolutely no guarantee that you're not going to get a battery with fake cells filled with sand. They might tell you it's a 52 and it's a 48 volt battery. They might lie about the quality of the cells in it. The hub motor looks the same on the outside. It's just enclosed in a black case. You don't know the quality of the components. And although Andy Kirby is my mate, I genuinely stand by his kits being the better end of the Chinese quality. And it's really hit or miss if you try and access that elsewhere. Not saying it's not possible, but 9 times out of 10, there's so many factors to it that I just don't even bother. I still get my kits from Andy. I still go through all the same things that anyone else would have to go through. Which brings me to my next point. People don't mention, if you buy something on ALIEXPRESS or Alibaba, you're taking a risk, which I just mentioned obviously about the quality of it. It might look the same, but there's no guarantee it's the same. And if it's a 1000 watt kit or a 2000 watt kit, it doesn't mean you're getting the same components inside the hub motor casing, inside the controller, inside the battery casing. You don't know what you're getting for sure unless you take it apart and check for yourself. My second point is, if you do access something from China yourself, you've got the communication issues, which might be hit and miss. You've got the delivery time, which is going to be usually at least 3 weeks. But if you're talking about getting something in January, February, there's certain times when China has public holidays and they celebrate New Year on a different day to us. So there's a chance that could be extended to 6 or 8 weeks, or do you know what I mean? So there's the lead time of getting stuff posted. Now this brings me on to another really important subject, postage costs. And not just postage costs, you've got import duty. Now this can vary country to country, but here in England, I've seen a huge variety of added charges. Postage and e-bike kits have gone up phenomenally. To get quality parts, everything since COVID has gone up and stayed up. Things are more and more expensive. You can easily spend between 800 and 1,000 on a high power hub drive kit if it's good quality. Yeah, you can get them for like less on eBay and on AliExpress, but I guarantee 9 times out of 10, if not 10 times out of 10, they're shit quality. They've got shit battery cells in them. They're not of the same quality. You know, just to reiterate, I don't want to reiterate too many times, but good and bad stuff comes out of China, and people not very educated take a look at the for sale ads and just go, oh, an e-bike kit, I've seen one of them for 400 quid. It's not the same. I fucking guarantee it is not the same. I guarantee it hasn't got LG or Samsung cells. I guarantee it isn't tried and tested with 50 to 100. Well, if you take into account all the customers on KIRBEBIKE, I worked for KIRBEBIKE technical department for a year or so. You know, I put my own name behind the reliability of the Andy Kirby stuff because I just don't get any problems with it. So, you know, going back to the sales tax and the import duties, here in England, I have to do all the same things. I'm not a special case where stuff gets teleported to me. I have to get kits from China, I have to pay the import duty, I have to pay the postage costs, and it is bloody expensive to have an e-bike kit, which is normally 4 kilograms for the battery, which is special goods and requires a special type of delivery. The hub motor is probably 4 kilograms. It's a big, hefty, dangerous goods parcel that isn't cheap. There is no way of getting around the postage costs. Everyone has to pay it. But when you get a bike from me, it's all done, it's all paid. Cut out all the process of the middle bit, you know. And if you like to do that and you don't mind waiting, you don't mind, you know, all the intricate details of putting together a kit that works well on a bike, then happy days, good luck to you. But I don't get why people just comment shit constantly, you know. This isn't everyone. This is just a small minority of people that have got nothing better to do but to belittle everyone's shit, shit on everyone's stuff online, and it's just pretty sad, really. I feel sorry for them. They've clearly got nothing going on in their lives. I mean, if people are that amazing, get your own YouTube channel, build your own bikes and sell them and see. You know, everyone needs to make a living, and if there's a little bit on top of building an e-bike from all the associated costs and hard work, I'll do this shit for full time. Why would I work for free? Why would anyone work for free? Why does it matter if there's a couple of quid on top of profit? I've got this massive workshop. It's cost me well over £10,000 so far, and it's not finished. I'm a single house dad. You know, I don't need to tell you all about my associated living costs, but it would work for free. I don't get why. I don't know. Don't get the mentality of these people. So yeah, if you are lucky enough to get a kit and it has got the right components and it's the higher end of the Chinese market with quality components, because there are a load of stuff out there which has got fake cells, crap components, but there's also good quality stuff. And I, hand on my heart, put my own reputation into the anti-Kirby kits because they're decent. I've messed about where I've had certain projects where I've had an e-bike kit with no batteries, so I've gone on to eBay and bought a battery. True story, I done one last year. Guy come all the way from Ireland to pick the bike up. He's a lorry driver, and within a week the battery died. It wasn't a KIRBEBIKE battery. On paper, on the spec sheet, it was good specs, and it died within a week. Brand new battery. And I don't need that kind of comebacks because I'm a busy man. I've got so many projects on. I do this full time. If you get a bike from me, I'm putting my own name behind it. It's going to be reliable. It's not going to have any comebacks. Nothing's immune from breaking or occasionally something go wrong. But pretty much everything I sell, I put out there. I put my name behind it. It's good quality. You shouldn't get any issues with it. And I think it represents pretty good value for money. By the time you've sourced the bike, paid for a bike, had to have a bike delivered, the e-bike kit's sent from China, get over it, everything gets sent from China, do you know what I mean? Everything in your house is probably manufactured in China, or at least 80–90% of it. I don't get why people aren't, all these keyboard warriors out there making comments like, do they walk around their own house going, damn, I should have got that on ALIEXPRESS, It's mental. You go down your own high street, you go to your own shops, you buy stuff on websites. Everything comes from China, like, get over it. Anyway, so this bike, £400, e-bike kit at least £800. So what are we talking? £1,200 to begin with. Then I've got the aftermarket saddle bags, 20 quid. Then I've got my own cable clips and zip ties, my own time, my own energy of putting this together. I've put this up for £1,100, which leads me on to another thing. What the fuck can you get for £1,100 in terms of e-bike? People don't know what they're looking at. These people see an advert on a website or Facebook Marketplace or other listings, and they're normally shit. They're normally shit built on a shit quality kit most of the time. 9 times out of 10, the stuff I see out there are built on shit e-bike conversion kits without as good battery cells, without good specs, without as powerful. And they lie about the specs. This is another massive bone of contention for me. There's so many actual manufacturer websites out there and private sellers on Marketplace saying that their 250 or 48 volt 1000 watt e-bike does 40 mile an hour, and I can guarantee at least 9 times out of 10 it's bullshit. Like, the range they say on the adverts is bullshit. They say that it's got a 50 to 70 mile range and it does 30 or 40. Some people even say 50 mile an hour for an absolutely shit conversion. The only way it's going to go that speed is if it falls off a cliff. It's totally down to people. If you are inclined to want to buy a kit from China, wait for it to turn up, pay the postage, pay the import duties, good luck to you, crack on with it. Stop commenting shit on people's things just because they do it or because they do it as a job. Without supporting the channel, without me doing this and earning a small amount of money, and it is a small amount of money, I'm not putting content out there teaching people that don't have any clue about this stuff, what to avoid, throwing out interesting, projects. I've got some really cool stuff coming up this year. If you don't want to support that, fine, crack on, I don't care, do you know what I mean? Leave it for the people that do enjoy the channel, do enjoy the projects. And there are people out there that are quite happy to buy a bike that's ready-made by someone they trust. You've got my name behind it. I've got my YouTube channel as my reputation. I'm not going to build shit. I'm not going to put shit out there. The stuff I make, I stand by. It's good quality. I've done all the hard work. I find the bike that suits the kit. I import the kit. I pay the duty. I put it together in my own time. Spend a lot of money on extra components, workshop. Why not? It's my job. So I feel sorry for people that take it upon themselves to complain, bitch, try and put someone down without knowing anything. And most of the time, I just ignore it, to be honest. Most of the time I ignore it. Occasionally, I question someone, If someone says, oh, I could get it for X amount, or I could do it on this. Occasionally, I've questioned the person and I've said, where can you get a 52 volt, 17 amp hour battery? The battery that goes on this bike is £500 to buy from the KIRBEBIKE store, $499.99 free postage. If you get it from ALIEXPRESS, yeah, great, you might be able to get it a bit cheaper, but then you've got postage costs, then you've got import duty. Another thing which I come across the other day, which is really interesting, I say interesting, it was actually annoying. I can't remember what I got sent through. I got sent through like an e-bike kit, and Sometimes you get 20% or whatever the percentage is of import duty tax. On this occasion, HMRC, quite often, this is another thing, HMRC, quite often when it gets to Portsmouth or a dock in England, will hang on to it and cut the parcel open and inspect it, and you know, extra problems and delays might rise from that. On top of that, I can't remember the terminology they use for it, but the other day I received a parcel. HMRC had cut open, I can't remember if it was bike or an e-bike kit, they'd cut the parcel open, delayed it, inspected it, instead of giving me import duty based on what I had paid for that item in China or from the manufacturer, they put on import duties for what they estimated the retail value to be when it hit England. So say you bought, you know, there was a £500 battery, you got £400 from ALIEXPRESS, they might look at that and decide that it's going to go for £500–600 in England and charge you 20% of that, which for my maths can be £100 on its own. So HMRC are pretty much at their own, we're at our own mercy of the HMRC for them to put on anything they feel like to a degree. I think it's crazy myself, but what can you do? It's the HMRC, you know. So they can see a parcel coming into the country, delay it, take their time deciding what to do with it, and then go, no, we think you're going to sell that for £1,000 or it's worth £1,000. Doesn't matter if you paid £300 for it. They can make up their own value and charge you, I think it's 20% or whatever it is, they charge you the percentage of a made up price. So it's not all roses buying something from China or AliExpress yourself. A lot of the time you've got long delays, you've got public holidays, you've got at least the standard time on a boat. This is a thing, import costs and shipping costs are so much. Most of the time it comes on a boat and it has to go through various places in China, go to a dock, go through customs, it's got to go on a boat because people can't afford to have shipping done by aeroplane because it would just be horrendous, you'll be doubling your costs. So it's not as easy as people make out, and sourcing the bikes to suit the kits, it's possible anyone can do it, but not everyone wants to. Some people want to just go to someone they can trust, like myself, which I put all my projects out there on eBay. You know, I've done between 50 and 100 conversions already on YouTube. Maybe more, I don't know, I've never counted. But if you're buying from me, there's very little money in it. There is very, very little money on it. The people commenting negative stuff usually are not looking at the quality of the components, the power of the kit, and the total cost of the project with, you know, with overheads. I'm probably losing money on every build. Time I'm paying for this workshop and everything, I'm more than certainly losing money. So, and yeah, this doesn't even go for just me. I just think there's a lot of people out there posting stuff that's actually all right, and they're getting flamed down on the internet by keyboard warriors. Don't get me wrong, there's also a lot of shit out there. You know, when you're seeing me on YouTube posting a couple of videos a week of e-bike builds and the pitfalls and the things that go wrong and the things that go right, and you see that I don't sell them till they're good quality, you know you're getting something you can trust. That's the thing, when I post something, you know you can get something you can trust. You know you're not paying much more than it'll cost you to build it from scratch. Right, so now we've had a little chat about this bike, which, you know, like I said, bike cost me £400, kit's £800, that's £1,200. Then you've got aftermarket saddle bags, all the cable clips, I put a kickstand on it. There's probably other things like inner tubes and various things, chains. Put a single speaker version on it. This could potentially cost you sort of good 1,300–1,400 quid to build and buy. This is ready built, it saves you all the work, it's ready to ride. You're going to be the coolest person in your town in the summer. It's up to you, if you don't like it, move on. So anyway, moving on, the next build I've done this week, Vitus VR. What an incredible bike to start with. You've got Clark's M2 brakes, you've got a dropper post, you've got upgraded pedals, you've got nuke-proof bars, you've got Suntour 32 forks. The spec on this is amazing for the money. Again, 2000 watt Andy Kirby kit. Sorry, this is the one behind me here that's actually finished. That one's having a 1000 watt kit. Same bike anyway. So again, time you've bought a kit, bought a pretty decent priced hardtail, there's very little money on it. There's very little money in it, and I'm putting it together with experience. And if you want to do it yourself, by all means go ahead. Crack on. Spend your time enjoying that and riding it instead of commenting shit on people's YouTube. The way I look at it is, what can you get for the money? You know, the Rally Super Bomber, £1,100. Show me an e-bike for sale that's got a 17 to a 20 amp hour battery, generally does 40 mile an hour, is an appreciating classic, and looks this bloody cool. What can you buy for £1,100 e-bike wise? Yeah, you can go on Marketplace and see some shitter that someone's built, looks tatty as fuck, looks ugly as fuck, it's based on a shit bike. For me, I feel like I'm putting stuff out there that people can trust, that represents really good value for money. If you look what you can buy for £1,100 for this bike, or £1,700 for the, you know, the Vitus with a 2000 watt high quality kit, you can't buy anything. If you go into like a bike shop like Halford's, for £1,100 you'll buy a 250 watt shitty Carrera, which the build quality, I've seen them in person, shit, all the cables are hanging off the frame. If they're not, they're just not great bikes to begin with. The components are better on my bikes, the specs are better, the battery range is better, the speed is better, and there's no governing the criteria that people state when they sell an e-bike, whether it's an actual shop or a website or a marketplace ad. People quote battery ranges which are so exaggerated it's ridiculous. If you buy a bike from me and you see my reviews, I give realistic, down to earth, honest reviews, telling you if it's shit, telling you if it's crap, telling you if it's good. So if I'm putting my name on a bike, you know you're going to get something that's reliable, fast, good range. And you know, I think the components are good for the money that these go for sale for. I can't see anything cheaper, and I always get people, keyboard warriors, going, "Oh, yeah, I can get this." I go, "Well, show me. Show me where you can get a 2000 watt kit, KIRBEBIKE quality with an MTX rim, Samsung or LG cells, 17 to 20 amp hour, 52 volt, and they never apply because you can't pick this stuff in England with all the import duties paid for much cheaper. You just can't. It is possible, I agree, to get cheap e-bike kits that are cheaper than the KIRBEBIKE kits. Are they good quality? In my experience, 99% of the time, no, they're not. They're not as good quality cells, they're not as good range, they're not as powerful, they're not as reliable. In the odd occasion, you do get e-bike kits that seem to go on forever and they're cheap, but, you know, congratulations. You know, I keep fitting the same kits time and time again because I believe in them, I believe they're reliable. I'm trying to create products when I do e-bike conversions that people are going to get much better value for money, much better performance, both power-wise, range-wise, than you would get on most websites and from most Facebook marketplace ads. So, you know, by all means, go do your own thing, get stuff from China if that's the route you want to go down, but perhaps if you're one of them people that just feels like they need to sit in their bedroom or sit on their phone laughing at stuff they don't understand, show me where you can get 52 volt, 17 or 20 amp hour kit with decent cells for flipping 300 or 400 quid, because it doesn't exist. It does not exist. And if you find one on ALIEXPRESS, I can guarantee it's probably the same price again in import fees and shipping. And if you are saving anything, it's negligible. It really isn't a huge saving. So if you want a decent bike, you want to cut out the middleman, you want to get something built by someone who's pretty experienced in this now. I've been doing this for a while now. Yeah, if you want something decent, you know where to come. And for those sad individuals out there that have got nothing better to do to laugh at stuff they don't understand, yeah, good luck to you. Hope you have a happy life. That's it for this video, guys. Over and out from Dude Stuff. I'll see you guys in a video soon. I've got loads of bits coming up. I've got the Super Bomber, £1,100. Seriously? Somebody fucking buy this. The bike's going up in value. It's a fucking cool bike. 1100 quid. Got the Vitus behind me, Suntour 32s, Clark M2 brakes, dropper post, 2000 watt kit, 52 volt, upgraded sine wave controller that probably puts out 2200 watts. Smooth as anything, powerful, MTX upgrade, controller upgrade. The list goes on. 1700 quid. Show me a better spec bike for the money. You know, you're just not going to get it. And another one behind me, a Vitus, that's going to be 48 volt, 1000 watt. That's going to be £1,250. That's the same price point as a flipping 250 watt Carrera from Halford's, guys. Stop talking shit, please. Just pack it in already. Go and educate yourself. Or if you think you're doing something marvellous and doing your own builds, concentrate on that. Stop talking shit. I'm certainly not ripping people off. And I truly believe that anyone that buys something from me is going to be super fucking happy with it, and it's going to give them years of fun and laughs, and it's going to serve the purpose of being worth every penny that they spend on it. So anyway, rant over. That's it for this video, guys. Thanks to those that support the channel and don't talk shit and are supportive. I'm out here trying to educate people. I've got some fucking crazy shit coming up this year, some really cool projects. Really appreciate those of you out there being supportive and enjoying what I do. And I will see you guys in a video soon with some sick stuff. Take it easy.